Previously on Three Body Problem.
Previous EP.
Saul Durand was appointed as a Wallfacer against his will, surviving 2 assassination attempts. The Staircase Project, humanity's ambitious plan to send Will Downing's preserved brain into space, faced a devastating setback. And Wade, a key figure in the project, received a chilling message from the Sophons. We open on a dimly lit, high-tech conference room. Holographic displays show space diagrams and alien symbols, casting an eerie blue glow over the faces of those present. The Planetary Defense Council has convened an emergency meeting 1 week after the Staircase Project's failure.
The loss of the Staircase probe is a significant blow, but we can't let it demoralize us. We need to regroup and focus on our next steps.
Agreed. The Wallfacer project is now our best hope. Speaking of which, Mr. Durand has finally agreed to take on his role.
About time. We need all hands on deck if we're going to have any chance against the Santai.
Saul Durand enters the room, looking disheveled and uncomfortable. His security detail, Clarence, follows closely behind.
Sorry I'm late. Still getting used to all this security.
Remember, sir, trust no one completely.
As Saul takes his seat, the tension in the room is palpable. The weight of humanity's future rests on the shoulders of these individuals.
Mr. Durand, we're glad you've decided to embrace your role as a Wallfacer. Can you share any initial thoughts or strategies?
I'm still processing everything. But I have been thinking about the nature of our enemy. The Santee, they're logical, predictable in their advanced state. Maybe that's a weakness we can exploit.
Interesting. Care to elaborate?
Not yet. I need more time to develop the idea.
Time is a luxury we don't have. The Sophons are everywhere, watching our every move.
Indeed, we are, Mr. Wade. Your persistence is admirable, if futile.
The room falls silent as the Sophon's voice emanates from every electronic device. The council members exchange worried glances.
We'll find a way to defeat you, no matter how long it takes.
Your species' optimism is fascinating. We look forward to studying it further upon our arrival.
As quickly as it appeared, the Sophon's presence vanishes, leaving the room in a state of unease.
This is exactly why the Wallfacer project is crucial. Saul, Layla, we need you to think in ways the Sophons can't predict.
And what about Ho Bolin, the third Wallfacer?
General Ho is pursuing his own strategies. For now, we need to focus on what we can control.
The scene shifts to a bustling research lab. Scientists in white coats move hurriedly between workstations, their faces a mix of determination and worry. Amidst this controlled chaos, we find Jen, her eyes fixed on a complex array of data scrolling across multiple screens.
There has to be a way to shield our technology from Sophon interference. If we could just...
Jen, do you have a moment?
Saul, what are you doing here?
I need your help. Your brilliant mind. I have an idea, but I need someone I can trust to help me develop it.
I'm not sure I'm the right person. After what happened with Will...
That's exactly why you're the right person. You understand the stakes better than anyone.
All right. What's your idea?
I've been thinking about chaos theory. The Santee, for all their advanced technology, are still bound by the laws of physics. What if we could create a system so chaotic, so unpredictable, that even they couldn't anticipate the outcome?
You're talking about weaponizing chaos?
Not just as a weapon, as a shield, a method of communication, a way to hide our true intentions.
It's intriguing. But the scale of what you're proposing?
I know it's ambitious. That's why I need your help.
As Jin and Saul begin to collaborate, we see the first glimmers of a plan that could change the course of humanity's future. The lab buzzes with renewed energy as they dive into their work. Later that evening, we find ourselves in a secluded park. The city skyline looms in the distance, a stark contrast to the natural setting. Saul sits on a bench, deep in thought, as Clarence stands nearby, ever vigilant.
Sir, I must advise against sharing your plans with anyone, even Jim.
I know the risks, Clarence, but I also know that I can't do this alone. Sometimes you have to take a leap of faith.
Faith is a luxury in our line of work, sir, but I'll trust your judgment.
Tell me, Clarence, in all your years of service, have you ever faced a threat like this?
Never. But then again, humanity has never backed down from a challenge. We'll find a way. We always do.
As night falls, the weight of their mission hangs heavy in the air. Unbeknownst to them, a figure watches from the shadows, their intentions unclear. The scene shifts to a high-tech command center. Multiple screens display global data, creating a dizzying array of information. Layla Aras stands at the center, her eyes darting from screen to screen as she works on her own Wallfacer strategy.
If we can't outthink them, maybe we can outlast them. A war of attrition on a cosmic scale.
Layla, we've detected unusual activity in the Kuiper belt. It could be nothing,
But given our situation, we can't afford to ignore it. I'm on my way.
As Layla rushes to investigate, the pieces of a cosmic chess game begin to move. Humanity's future hangs in the balance, with the Wallfacers as its last best hope. We return to Saul's secure apartment. The room is dimly lit, with screens and holographic displays casting an eerie glow. Saul sits hunched over a desk, surrounded by historical texts and scientific journals.
The answer has to be here somewhere. What are we missing?
Perhaps what you're missing, Mr. Durand, is the futility of your efforts.
You. Why are you here?
Curiosity. Your species fascinates us. So much potential, yet so limited.
We're more than you give us credit for.
Perhaps. But remember, Mr. Durand, we're always watching, always listening. Your Wallfacer project is an amusing diversion, nothing more.
As the Sophan's presence fades, Saul is left with a chilling realization. The enemy is not just out there in the cosmos, but here, infiltrating every aspect of human life. The next morning, we find ourselves on a crowded street in New York City. The hustle and bustle of the metropolis continues, seemingly unaware of the cosmic threat looming over them. Saul, accompanied by Clarence, makes his way through the throng.
I still don't understand why I was chosen. There must be a reason.
Maybe that's part of the strategy. Keep the enemy guessing.
But I'm not even sure what I'm doing. How can I?
A car veers onto the sidewalk, heading straight for Saul. Pedestrians scream and scatter.
Get down.
Clarence tackles Saul to the ground as the car crashes into a nearby storefront. In the ensuing chaos, a figure emerges from the wreckage, brandishing a weapon.
For the glory of the Santee.
Stay down, sir.
Clarence engages the assassin in hand-to-hand combat while bystanders flee in terror. The street becomes a battleground.
Clarence.
As the fight continues, Saul notices a fallen piece of paper near the crashed car. He reaches for it, narrowly avoiding a stray bullet.
The Earth Trisolaris organization sends its regards.
Suddenly, the assassin breaks free from Clarence and lunges at Saul.
No.
In a moment of desperation, Saul manages to overpower the assassin, using a move he didn't even know he possessed.
How? You're not supposed to.
I'm full of surprises.
Sir, are you all right?
I think so. What just happened?
You just took down a trained assassin. That's what happened.
But how? I've never...
We need to move. Now.
Hours later, we find ourselves in the Secretary General's office at the United Nations headquarters. The room exudes power and gravity, with flags of member nations lining the walls. Saul sits across from the Secretary General, still shaken from the morning's events.
Mr. Durand, I'm relieved to see you unharmed. This attack only reinforces the importance of your role.
With all due respect, Madam Secretary, I'm not sure I can do this. I'm a scientist, not a... whatever it is you want me to be.
What we want you to be, Mr. Durand, is humanity's hope. Your unique perspective, your ability to think outside conventional boundaries. That's why you were chosen.
But I don't have any special abilities. What happened this morning? I can't explain it.
Perhaps that's exactly the point. The Wallfacer project isn't about what we know you can do. It's about the potential of what you might do.
And if I fail?
Then we all fail. But I don't believe you will.
The scene shifts back to Jin's laboratory. The space is a hive of activity, with researchers working feverishly on various projects. Saul enters, his face a mix of determination and uncertainty.
Saul, I heard what happened. Are you okay?
Physically, yes. Mentally, I'm not so sure.
What do you mean?
During the attack, I did things I shouldn't have been able to do. It's like my body knew exactly what to do, but my mind couldn't keep up.
Interesting. Could it be related to your Wallfacer abilities?
I don't know. But it's made me think, what if our project isn't just about creating unpredictability in systems? What if it's about unlocking the unpredictability within ourselves?
You mean tapping into hidden human potential?
Exactly. The Santee might be able to predict our technology, our strategies. But what if we could become truly unpredictable on an individual level?
It's an intriguing idea, but how would we even begin to approach something like that?
I'm not sure yet. But I think it might be the key to everything.
As Saul and Jin delve deeper into their theories, we shift to Layla Aris's private office at the Planetary Defense Council headquarters. The room is a blend of military precision and cutting-edge technology. Layla is surprised by an unexpected visitor.
Miss Aris, I hope I'm not interrupting.
General Howe, this is Unexpected.
These are unexpected times. I believe we need to discuss our respective Wallfacer strategies.
I was under the impression we were to work independently.
Officially, yes. But I've come to believe that some level of coordination might be necessary.
What exactly are you proposing?
An alliance of sorts. One that even the Sophons won't see coming.
As the two Wallfacers begin their clandestine discussion, the complex web of humanity's defense against the Santai grows ever more intricate. We find ourselves aboard Wade's private jet, flying high above the Atlantic. The luxurious interior belies the tension in the air as Wade, still reeling from the failure of the staircase project, struggles to find a new direction.
There has to be a way. We can't just give up.
Giving up would be the logical choice, Mr. Wade.
You again. What do you want?
To understand. Your species continues to resist despite overwhelming odds. It's fascinating.
We resist because it's who we are. It's what makes us human.
And what makes you think being human is enough?
It has to be. It's all we've got.
Later that evening, we return to Saul's new secure apartment. The space is a far cry from his previous home, filled with advanced security systems and monitoring equipment. Saul enters, exhausted from the day's events, to find an unexpected guest.
Saul, thank God you're okay. I've been trying to reach you all day.
Augie, how did you get in here?
Your new friend Clarence let me in. Said you could use a familiar face.
He's not wrong.
Saul, what's going on? First Will, now you're some kind of... what? Secret weapon against aliens?
It's complicated. Augie, I'm not even sure I understand it all myself.
Then help me understand. Please.
As Saul begins to explain the complexities of his new role, we see the toll it's taking on his personal relationships and his sense of self.
It's called the Wallfacer Project. We're supposed to be humanity's last line of defense against the Santee.
But why you? You're a physicist, not a... whatever this is.
That's what I keep asking myself. But apparently, that's the point. The Santai can predict our usual strategies, so we need to be unpredictable.
And you're unpredictable because...
Because I don't know what I'm doing. Laughs bitterly. At least, that's what I thought. But today, during the attack...
Attack? What attack?
There was an assassination attempt. I fought back. And won. Somehow.
Oh my God. Saul, are you okay?
Physically, yes. But Augie, I did things I shouldn't be able to do. It's like there's something inside me that I don't understand.
Maybe that's why they chose you.
Maybe. But it terrifies me.
As the night wears on, Saul finds himself unable to sleep, his mind racing with the possibilities and dangers that lie ahead. Meanwhile, in a dimly lit basement, members of the ETHO, Earth Trissolaris organization, gather to discuss their next move. The air is thick with tension and fanaticism.
Our attempt on Duran's life failed, but we've sent a message. The Wallfacers are not invincible.
What's our next move?
We wait. We watch. And when the time is right, we strike again. For the glory of Trissolaris. For Trissolaris.
Back in Saul's apartment, as the first light of dawn breaks, we find him at his desk, typing furiously. Ideas flow faster than he can process them.
Chaos theory. Hidden potential. Unpredictability. There has to be a connection.
Suddenly, Saul stops typing, a look of realization spreading across his face.
That's it. We're not just fighting the Santai. We're fighting our own limitations. What if the key to defeating them is to transcend what we think is possible?
Saul, it's 5 a.m. What's going on?
Jen, I think I've figured it out. We need to create a program, a training regimen that pushes the boundaries of human potential.
What do you mean?
Think about it. The Santai can predict our actions because they're based on known human capabilities. But what if we could unlock abilities we didn't even know we had?
Like what you experienced during the attack.
Exactly. We need to combine your expertise in neuroscience with my understanding of chaos theory. We could create a system that not only shields our plans from the Sophons, but actually enhances our ability to fight back.
This could work. But Saul, the ethical implications.
I know. It's risky. But what choice do we have?
As Saul and Jin begin to flesh out their ambitious plan, we see the first true glimmer of hope in humanity's fight against the Santee. Later that day, we find ourselves in a grand meeting room at the Planetary Defense Council headquarters. The Wallfacers have gathered to present their initial strategies to the Council. The tension in the room is palpable.
We are facing unprecedented threats, both from the Santee and from their human collaborators. Wallfacers, please share your progress.
My strategy focuses on long-term survival. We need to prepare for a war of attrition that could last centuries.
I propose we focus on deception. We must make the Santai believe we're pursuing one course of action while secretly preparing another.
And you, Mr. Durand?
My plan is to unlock the full potential of the human mind and body, to make us truly unpredictable, even to ourselves.
And how do you propose to do that?
By combining cutting-edge neuroscience with principles of chaos theory, we'll create a program that pushes the boundaries of what we believe is possible.
This sounds ambitious.
Ambitious.
It is, but so is doing nothing.
As the Council debates the merits and risks of each strategy, tensions rise and alliances begin to form. Weeks later, we find ourselves in a secluded laboratory. The space is filled with advanced equipment, much of it prototype technology. Saul and Jin work tirelessly, pushing the limits of science and ethics.
So look at these results. The test subjects are showing increased cognitive function, enhanced physical capabilities.
And increased unpredictability in decision-making processes. It's working.
But at what cost? Some of the subjects are experiencing severe side effects.
We'll refine the process. We have to. The fate of humanity depends on it.
Sir, we've got a problem. The ETO has discovered our location. We need to evacuate now.
As Saul and his team rush to secure their research and escape, the true dangers of their work become apparent. Hours later, we find Saul, Jin, and Clarence regrouping at a safe house. The room is sparse, clearly a temporary location. The tension is thick in the air.
We've lost valuable time and resources. The ETO is getting bolder.
Maybe we should reconsider our approach. The risks?
The risks of failure are even greater. We push forward.
Your determination is admirable, Mr. Durand, but ultimately futile.
You don't know that. You can't predict what we're capable of.
Perhaps, but we look forward to finding out.
As the Sophan's presence fades, Saul is left with a renewed sense of purpose and a growing realization of the immense challenge that lies ahead. Months have passed, and we return to the Planetary Defense Council headquarters. The Wallfacers have gathered once again to present their progress and face tough questions from the Council.
Mr. Durand, your project has shown promising results, but the ethical concerns are mounting. How do you respond?
The ethical implications are significant, I agree. But we're not just enhancing individuals. We're evolving humanity to face an existential threat.
And what happens when the Santee arrive? Will your enhanced humans be enough?
They're not just enhanced humans. They're the first step towards a new understanding of our own potential. A potential that even the Santee can't predict.
It's a bold strategy. But is it enough?
It has to be. Because if we can't surprise ourselves, how can we ever hope to surprise them?
As the meeting concludes, the weight of humanity's future hangs heavy in the air. The Wallfacers, each pursuing their own strategies, find themselves united in their determination to face the greatest challenge in human history. Late that night, we return to Saul's private quarters. The room is dimly lit, the glow of screens casting long shadows. Saul sits alone, exhausted but unable to sleep, his mind racing with the enormity of his task.
Are we doing the right thing? Or are we becoming the very thing we're fighting against?
Saul, I brought you some tea.
Thanks, Augie. I don't know what I'd do without you.
You'd probably work yourself to death. Saul, I'm worried about you.
I know. But I can't stop now. We're so close to a breakthrough.
And what if that breakthrough changes you? Changes all of us.
Maybe that's what we need. To become something more than what we are.
Just don't lose yourself in the process.
As Saul and Augie sit in contemplative silence, we're reminded of the personal cost of their cosmic struggle. In a montage of scenes, we see humanity preparing for an uncertain future. Military exercises are conducted in secret facilities. Scientists work tirelessly in labs around the world, and society itself begins to change in response to the looming threat. And at the heart of it all, the Wallfacers continue their secret work, each hoping that their strategy will be the key to humanity's survival. We return to Saul's laboratory. Months of tireless work have led to this moment. Saul and Jin prepare to test their most ambitious experiment yet. The air is thick with anticipation and fear.
Are you sure about this, Saul? The risks?
We've come too far to turn back now. I'll do it myself.
But
if I'm asking others to take this risk, I have to be willing to do it myself.
As Saul prepares to undergo the procedure, tension fills the air. The fate of humanity may hinge on what happens next.
Initiating the procedure in 3, 2, 1.
A blinding flash fills the room, and for a moment, everything goes silent.
Saul, can you hear me?
Slowly, Saul's eyes open, filled with a new intensity and understanding.
I can see it. I can see everything.
What do you mean? What can you see?
The patterns, Jen. The chaos and the order. It's all connected, and I think I know how we can win.
As Saul begins to explain his revelation, we see the first true glimmer of hope in humanity's fight against the Santai. But with this hope comes a new set of questions and dangers. Has Saul unlocked humanity's true potential, or has he opened a Pandora's box that can never be closed? The battle for Earth's future has entered a new phase, with Saul Durand at its center. As the Wallfacers continue their work and the Santee draw ever closer, one question remains. Will humanity's Gambit pay off, or are we merely delaying the inevitable? Find out as the story continues in the next episode of Three Body Problem.